Grand rising and welcome to Newmind, where our intention is clear and is to share information for transformation. Thank you for being here. Thank you for making the time to show up for yourself, to elevate yourself, to take on these principles that I have extracted over the years, learning from the best teachers, which has been my clients, my traders, who have been the evidence for me to see where change really happens and how it occurs in their reality, in their life. So we'll dive deep into principle number 2. But please, guys, if you are listening to this or watching this, please subscribe, comment, and share. I really want to grow this YouTube channel, which I've just rolled out, and I really want to spread the word. So if you haven't listened to Principle 1 or watched Principle 1, please make sure to listen to Principle 1 and also listen to the podcast of Setting the Tone, so you guys have an idea if you're new to the channel. So let's dive straight into principle number 2. Buckle up. So principle number 2 is elevate self-worth. So your net worth mirrors your self-worth. This is really important when I say your net worth mirrors your self-worth. So you will never outperform the image you hold of yourself. And this is something so true. I've seen this over and over the years. And I always say this to my traders: your account will always return to the level of your self-worth. And sometimes they don't like hearing that, right? Because their P&Ls is not showing something great. And they go, well, how is that possible? Well, it is possible because your self-worth is connected to your net worth. It's connected to what you believe and how you feel about what you are worthy of, right? So self-worth is the ceiling for your performance. You know, it is the ceiling for how far you can go in life and in trading. And guys, when I speak, I generalize because it's all interconnected. You always know me say this. It's all interconnected, right? So if you believe you are worthy of becoming a 7-figure trader, then your chances are, with the right skill set, of course, and putting in the work, that you will achieve that. But if you have the best skill set in the world, and trust me, I've worked with traders who were so skilled, had the most amazing skill set, but they were struggling to become a 7-figure trader or struggling to become a 6-figure trader, right? And the reason that is because the block was their self-worth. Because if deep down you don't feel worthy, you will sabotage your gains. I'll say this one more time. If deep down you don't believe you're worthy, you will sabotage your gains, because your unconscious mind will always keep you where it believes you belong. So if it sees if you internal perception doesn't see you becoming a 6-figure or 7-figure trader, something starts to happen. And perhaps this resonates with you if you're watching or listening to this. What happens is you start making these weird errors. These mistakes. You do certain things that are very premature that you wouldn't do on a regular day, but it happens when you're getting closer to a target. It happens when you are sizing up. Sizing up all of a sudden becomes scary. Why? Because your mind is not accepting that. There's a self-sabotaging mechanism that kicks in. So traders, whether they know this or not, they tie their self-worth to the wins and losses. You know, they unconsciously do it and sometimes consciously do it. But the problem is, because they're tying their self-worth to those trades, to their losses or wins, there becomes automatically there's an emotional roller coaster that happens. You know, and I've seen this over and over again. When a trader is in alignment, when they have high self-worth, that automatically creates more stability. It creates more patience. It creates more clarity in what they're doing. Okay? So understanding the power of aligning your self-worth, especially as a trader, because trading, I always say this, you're working with money, and money is a sensitive energy. And money is connected directly or indirectly to self-worth. You know, one of my mentors, I remember, used to always say to me, and I did, you know, I found it very hard at the beginning, but it is true. You know, they say, like, look at, he used to, I can't remember the exact phrase of how he used to say it linguistically, but the message that he was delivering is, your net worth is your self-worth. How much money you have in the bank is going to be a representation of how you see your self-worth, where you are in life. And it's hard sometimes to accept that truth, because every one of us is different. Where are they in journey, and they're building up, etc. But the reality is, when they align their self-worth, things start to improve much more faster, much more easier, much more flow, you know. And self-worth becomes built by discipline, because you believe you're worthy, so you don't want to mess it up for yourself. It's keeping those promises. It's the integrity, right? There's an identity that emerges, which is very important, because we're all about identity. There's an identity that emerges of worthy trader. I'm a worthy trader. I'm a worthy entrepreneur, right? And it produces consistent actions. You know, it really produces consistent actions, because the moment you align your self-worth, you won't accept things in your life that throw you out of balance, that distract you. You'll have healthier boundaries, but also you will take things more seriously, and you will invite better actions, better behaviors, you know. And it's important to really, again, take a moment and reflect, see where you're at with self-worth. Do you believe you're worthy? Do you believe you're worthy of becoming a millionaire? Trader or non-trader for that matter. But do you believe? Where do you see your self-worth? Where's your ceiling? Do you have a ceiling? These are important questions to ask ourselves. No one educated us. No one told us about this. But that is part of conditioning, part of our mind, part of the identity that I'm referring to. You know? Most blow-ups aren't strategy failures. This is what traders tend to forget. It's self-worth failures. It really is. Like, think about it. If you've blown up an account so far, if you've lost money, really reflect on what I'm sharing with you. Unless you're a really premature trader, just started and you're a month in and you don't know what you're doing, of course, the errors of skill set comes in play. But if you've been around and you've been trading for some time, and that's where most traders I work with, they usually experienced traders 2 to 3 years in, at least 2 to 3 years in, before working on their mindset. They need to get the skill set, right? So here's an actionable insight for you. And this is what I intend to do with all of these episodes, especially the solo episodes. I always want to give you an actionable insight so you can take something away. It's not just conversation here, guys. It's something that I need you to take action. But I want you either to have a journal for Newmind, maybe get a journal specifically for this podcast, but make notes, write down the principles, take away from these episodes, these, information for transformation, things that are going to really change and push the needle in the right direction. If you can't afford to work and do the deeper work, that's okay, but start here. Start here. If you don't believe in investing yourself, that's okay. That's a limiting belief, by the way, because we all have to invest in ourselves to grow. But if you feel you're not ready, that's okay. I'm here. This is why I'm creating this space. This is why I'm creating these conversations, and I'm giving you these actionable insights so you can start somewhere. So here's a prompt that I want you to write down. If I truly believed I was worthy of wealth and success, how would I trade differently? I'll repeat that one more time. If I truly believed I was worthy of wealth and success, how would I trade differently? Put yourself in that identity. Put yourself in that avatar. How would you feel? What actions would you do differently? And just choose one small action that aligns with that belief. And do it in your next trading session, right? Just one action based on this new identity that believes, right, that you are worthy of wealth and success. Maybe you start to size up when you have that confidence that you can. Maybe it's more patience. Maybe you do less FOMO, right? Because you know that it's going to come to you. You know it's coming. You become more disciplined. You trust the process more. You're not in and out, changing your strategies every day, breaking your rules, and so forth. So again, guys, self-worth is probably the most important domain within your mind to look at, especially if you're a trader, because it's all numbers, it's all reflections, it's all that mirror that we keep looking at on there, and we see, okay, that number means something to me. That number means something to me. And if the meaning is out of alignment of your self-worth, if that number is a bit too high in your internal perception, get ready, because you're going to self-sabotage yourself unconsciously. You're not doing this consciously. Something takes over. I know most of you who are listening to this or watching this knows exactly what I'm talking about. You make those errors where you look back and you go, how did I make that error? Why did I do that? It's not you consciously. It's the set of programs that's programmed to act in a certain way based on your self-worth ceiling. And guys, it is the most amazing thing to witness over the years when this shifts and when this breakthrough. I've been so privileged to witness this with my my private clients and traders that have broken through this pattern and this belief, this identity, this self-worth ceiling. Everything starts to change. Their energy is different. They attract better opportunities. They see better opportunities on their trades. They're more at ease in their nervous system because they believe. They truly believe that they are worthy. And if you really believed that you are worthy, deep, deep, deep inside, not just saying it, not just forcing it, not just affirming it, but truly in your body and in your mind, they're congruent. There's no disconnect between the conscious and unconscious mind. It changes everything, guys. It changes how you show up in the world. It changes your energy. It changes the whole dynamic of why you're trading and why you do what you do. There's a natural flow of energy that comes into your life that is different because you just know you're worthy of it. And it's just a matter of taking action, being patient, and allowing it to come into your reality versus thinking subconsciously or consciously that you're going to mess it up, you're not worthy of it, I can't handle big wins, I can't handle big money, I feel nervous when I'm starting to make 6 figures, close to 7 figure, whatever that is, whatever that number in your, because everyone has a number. Everyone has a number. And when they get to that number, they start to feel uncomfortable. And this is really important. When I say everyone has a number, everyone has a ceiling unless they broke that ceiling and they leave it open, flow, worthy. There's no number, there's no ceiling, it's just open. But unfortunately, most people are conditioned based on their experiences and their past and the relationship with money and how they grew up with their parents and everything that came with those experiences that allow them to perceive and create this unconscious ceiling in their mind. And in reality, that ceiling is all an illusion, but it becomes real because it solidifies in the mind and then you act upon it. So, moment of reflection, actionable insights that I've shared. This is super important, guys. And remember, just by simply taking these steps right now and challenging those beliefs and challenging that is a very big step in the right direction. And not all of you can, again, I say this with love and respect. I'm not trying to be egoic here, but not all of you can work privately with me. Some of you can't afford it. Some of you don't have the capability, and that's okay. But I'm here to remind you, start taking action at least. Start taking action of what is easier for you, what's attainable for you to start making the shift. And again, my intention with these episodes, with the podcast, with the digital programs that I'm putting together and creating now that is available, very affordable, by the way, for those who can't work with me privately. I'm creating little nuggets of things that they can work, true modalities, true tools, things that help them recondition their mind to shift this perspective, to shift this identity, because it's all identity, guys. Remember that. It's all identity. And the moment that changes internally, everything outside of you changes. So again, guys, thank you for taking the time to show up for yourself. Thank you for being here. And if you're watching this on my YouTube channel, please subscribe, give us a like, give us a comment. It really helps the channel grow. I genuinely want to serve you guys. I genuinely want to make this Newmind movement something that's gonna impact you guys even more than you've ever had working with me or knowing me for over the years. From Rising Mind Days to Conscious Trading Academy to my private Newmind trading, whatever that is, however you heard of me or work with me or know me both in person or on just camera or heard my voice, I really appreciate you being here. I honor you because that's the biggest sign of you showing up. If you're showing up for these episodes, it is the biggest sign that you care and you love yourself and you're actually wanting the best for yourself. And that's really my mission, is to elevate you, elevate each other in the process, create this movement where we all live a life of freedom. Because I say this always, and I'll repeat it again as I close this episode, we are all born to live an abundant life. We are all born free, and we want to free ourselves from this system of this matrix, of this illusion that we believe sometimes we're not worthy of, and to believe that we can't be free. So thank you again, guys. Much love and positive energy.